I'm unboxing the MiG-15 by 21st Century Toys. It's in 1/18 scale. I haven't been talking in the last few videos, and someone requested that I add some more commentary, so I'm gonna try it. So this one is the Chinese version MiG. And I actually have 3 different paint variations. I have the Russian, Chinese, and I believe the Korean version. This is what it looks like underneath. You have fuel pods, fuel tanks, instructions on assembly. That's for the red nose MiG. I have one of those. And I'll open that in a second. Another thing I'm doing differently is I'm not using the wide angle on my camera because the lighting just was awful in low light, as you can tell in my F-86 Sabre video at the very beginning. So this pilot is very similar to the F-86 pilot, if not the exact same, just maybe color or something, I don't even know. But his pants are wider. So the MiG came with 2 fuel tanks, 2 variations. These could be jettisoned, because apparently the MiG was very fuel hungry. And then the other ones here in this pack were not removable. So I'm gonna try out both of these. Tell me which one you guys like better. So in this little bag, we have parachute. It goes in the back of the pilot. I'm not sure what these are. We have 2 of these. We have the gas mask. And then the stand for the pilot. This is the fuselage. And it looks like the gear doors are installed on the fuselage, not the wings. Some people said that some of these didn't come with gear doors, but I don't know if they know that maybe they were supposed to be installed in the fuselage. There's 21st Century. Made in China. I actually like the quality of this. It already comes with the pitted tube installed. And this paint scheme looks amazing. I really like how these install because they just snap on. These wings, there's no screws. They snap on pretty tight. Man, really have to push that in there. I like that though, because some of these models come loose. Just make sure the gear door's out of the way. Some of these model wings come loose. They just don't feel like a tight fit, but this one, it's almost too tight. And that's a lot of force to get that in there, which means if I ever want to take this off, I don't know how that's gonna happen. You just snap into place. Man, that's a pretty tight fit. That's almost it for install for this guy, except for the drop tanks. And if you notice here, see if we can focus. See, that says right. That's for your right side wing. And this is for the left side wing. And I'm assuming if you don't do that correctly, it might not go on. So here's the right. There we go. It's actually got 4 little holes that they go in. Try to get a shot of that. It's pretty hard to get them in, actually. Now I'm going to install the permanent tanks. And again, these are left and right oriented. This one's right side. So Flip this over here. These go in the center pieces, center holes, just like that. This one and this one. Actually, this one and that one. Tell me which one you guys like better. If you like the permanent, these, or if you like the drop tanks. And I wanted to point something out too. If y'all see this stuff hanging on the front of the nose over the canopy, that's just the old rubber band that's deteriorated from packaging. And alcohol gets that glue off, the residue, but you have to be careful because I don't want to take the paint off. But so far, alcohol's been fine to remove all those. So I'm gonna open up the front wheel doors. And you have a little clip right here, little tab that you just lift up and it snaps into place like that. And they are plastic, not rubber. Some wheels feel like rubber. These bay doors, wheel doors open up, same thing. And it has this little tab that clips into place. There we go, like that, which keeps the wheel from coming back out of position. Same thing with this side. There we go. I'm gonna close those back. There's the MiG-15. The landing gear definitely feels more stable on this plane than the Sabre. The Sabre, if you barely touch the back, it wobbles. This one, you have to put a decent amount of force. These move on both sides. The rudder moves. The top and bottom rudder are actually connected. The ailerons move on both sides. And also the flaps deploy, but you have to stick your finger in right here and lift it up. They only go about like that. I'll show you. And then when you flip it over, they drop down, but just a little bit. Here are the guns. You have 3 guns. I think there's 2 cannons. Correct me if I'm wrong. Looks like there's a light in the front there, right in the middle. They're actually trying to show the jet engine. All right, so the pamphlet called these the radio aerial. And one goes right here. It doesn't look like there's a certain way, orientation. You just push it in. I'm gonna work on that one. And then one goes on the other wing towards the end, right here. I'm gonna have to work to get those in, but that's how they go. Here's the cockpit. The canopy just slides back like that. The gauges have a lot of detail. This is how you put the oxygen mask on. I think I called it a gas mask earlier. If you caught that, let me know. Anyways, there's 2 little holes in the side of his face, one there and one here, and there's little tabs on the end of this, and the tabs just slit right into those holes like that. And then the parachute right here, same thing, it's got tabs. And then on the side right here, he has a hole on the other side, and then you just pop it in like that. looking like that. And I don't think he's gonna fit in the cockpit with his parachute on. I'll let you know. If you decided to put him on a stand, that's what it would look like. He has a hole in the bottom of his foot. And it just pushes onto this little tab. Okay, so he barely fits in there. I don't know if you can see that, but his legs, where they widen right there, touch the side. So you don't really have much room. And then once you close the cockpit, his head almost touches. But he looks good. One more thing I forgot to show you was there are air brakes on this. Pop that tab open right there. I noticed there's not any writing on this like there is on the F-86 or a lot of the other planes. That might have just been the way that they did it. But on all the other 21st Century Toys planes, there'll be writing either A on top of the fuselage or under, but there is none anywhere. Looks like those are lights. And for kicks, here's the F-86 Sabre and the MiG-15 next to each other. The F-86 is bigger, but the quality of them is pretty good on both. If you haven't seen my other video on the F-86 Sabre, watch it. That's a beautiful plane.